One day, in the early morning, Gautama Buddha was sitting in a garden quietly with his disciples. A man arrived silently and stood in the shadows. That man was a great devotee of Lord Rama. He had built many temples across the country. He had devoted many years in the service of Lord Rama. He would always chant Rama's name and contemplate on Rama's greatness. He was old and close to his last years, and even after many years of dedicated spiritual effort, he was not enlightened. He wanted to know for sure if there is a God or not. When he heard about the Enlightened One, he came to get his doubt cleared. When he felt that nobody would notice him talking to Buddha, he asked Gautama, "O Enlightened One, please tell me the truth, and truth only. Is there a God?" Buddha, from his intuition, knew that man to be a great devotee of Lord Rama. He looked at that man with seriousness and said, "No, my friend, there is no God." Buddha's disciples that had gathered were very relieved and joyous to finally know the truth that there was no God. They all started muttering between them, sharing what the Buddha had just told. Whenever a disciple had asked that question to Buddha, he would become silent, so they never knew. His words spread through the whole town. The whole town was celebrating the day on which the truth of no God was revealed by the Enlightened One. They were finally free of the ideas of hell, heaven, and of somebody sitting up to judge one's actions. It was getting late in the evening, and once again, the disciples came back and sat around the Buddha. There was a materialist who had been an atheist all his life. He had convinced thousands of people that there was no God. He used to go to the priests and scholars and defeat them in the argument about God. He too was getting old, and little suspicion arose in him. What if there is God? Isn't it a waste of my life to spread the no-God message? If there is God? He was eaten by his doubt. He finally decided to know the truth and sought the Enlightened One. He slowly came up to where Buddha was sitting and asked him, "They say you are enlightened. Please tell me if there is God." Buddha, knowing that man to be an atheist, said with firm voice, as if he is in firm conviction, "Yes, there is God." Buddha's disciples, once again, were back to confusion. The word spread around town that there was no God, and so the whole town was confused. You see, in life, the belief that there is God or the belief that there is no God are both equally useless. One has to realize the truth in himself. If there is a God, is it a reason to behave better? If there is no God, is it a reason to behave worse in your life? No. So to realize oneself is to look inside of you and not looking for a truth that is somewhere out there in the universe. Because life is short and you can spend your whole life thinking about if there is God or no God. But here on earth, if you are good, you are good. If you are bad, you are bad.